Welcome back. Today, we are jumping into a story that really has it all. We're talking hidden identities, high stakes palace drama, and one of the most incredible turnarounds you will ever hear about. Yep, we're talking about the story of Esther. So, let's get right into it.
So let me just ask you something. How does one person, just one single person, stand up to an entire empire? When everything and everyone is stacked against you, what does it really take to stand up and change the course of history? Well, that very question is exactly what's at the heart of Esther's story.
All right, so let's set the scene. We are in the massive, powerful Persian Empire. This place is the undisputed superpower of its day, and it's all run by this guy, King Xerxes. So just try to imagine a world of unbelievable wealth, absolute power, and some seriously dangerous political games. We're talking about a place where saying the wrong thing or even making the wrong move could literally cost you your life. So, where does our hero Esther come into all this? Well, it all kicks off when King Xerxes gets rid of his first queen. So he needs a new one, and this massive empire-wide search begins. And wouldn't you know it, a young Jewish woman named Esther is chosen. But here's the catch. Her cousin, Mordecai, gives her some critical advice. He tells her, whatever you do, keep your identity a secret. So she walks into the palace carrying this huge, dangerous secret. And just like that, Esther is the queen. She's right there, in the absolute heart of all this imperial power. But get this, nobody, and I mean nobody, not even the king himself, her own husband, has any idea that she's Jewish. Just think about that pressure. Her whole future, and as we're about to find out, the future of her entire people, is all riding on keeping that one secret safe. Okay, so every great story needs a great villain, right? And this story has a real doozy. Let's talk about Haman. He's the king's top guy, his right-hand man, but he is just dripping with pride and arrogance. And it's his ego, his ambition, that's about to set off a truly terrible chain of events. So the real conflict here, it's not just two guys who don't like each other. No, it's a clash of two totally opposite worldviews. On one side, you've got Mordecai, who refuses to bow down to any human being, period. It's a matter of deep conviction for him. And then you have Haman, whose ego is so massive that he demands that everyone bow to him. You can just feel it, right? These two are on a collision course, and it is not going to be pretty. And yeah, not pretty is a huge understatement. This collision is absolutely catastrophic. Haman gets so enraged, so consumed by his anger at Mordecai, that he doesn't just target him. No, in an act of stunning evil, he decides he's going to wipe out all of Mordecai's people, all the Jews in the empire. He even casts lots, which were called Purim, to pick the exact day for this annihilation. Then he takes this wicked plan straight to the king. This part is just chilling. Haman is so clever about it. He never tells the king who these people are that he wants to destroy. And King Xerxes, well, he trusts his top official, right? So he just signs the decree. With a simple stroke of a pen, the fate of an entire nation is sealed. And the craziest part? The king has absolutely no idea that his own wife is one of the people he's just condemned to die. So word gets out, and you can just imagine the despair, the absolute terror that grips the Jewish people. All eyes and all hope now turn to the one person who might be able to help, Queen Esther. She's the only one with the king's ear. But as we know, her position is anything but safe. Esther is facing a truly impossible choice. She is stuck between a rock and a hard place. See, the law of the palace was crystal clear. If you approach the king without being summoned, you could be executed on the spot. But if she stays silent, well, then she and her people face certain destruction. There is no easy path here, no safe option at all. And it's right at this moment that her cousin Mordecai sends her a message that changes everything. He challenges her, basically saying, have you ever considered that your entire life's journey, becoming queen, your position, your influence, maybe it all led to this single moment? Maybe you were made for such a time as this? It's this idea that this isn't an accident. This is her destiny. And those words, they just light a fire in her. But she doesn't act rashly. No, she acts with purpose. She calls on her people to join her in fasting, a sign of deep preparation and resolve. Then, after making her decision, she takes that fateful, terrifying walk to the king's throne room. Can you even imagine the tension in that room? She's just standing there, uninvited, completely at his mercy. King Xerxes could have had her killed right then and there. Instead, he extends his golden scepter, a sign of favor, and spares her life. And just like that, the first and most dangerous hurdle has been cleared. But Esther is way too smart to just blurt out her request. Nope. She's got a strategy. And this is where the story pivots. This is where a brilliant plan is set in motion to completely turn the tables on her enemy. So instead of a direct confrontation, she plays it cool. It's a brilliant political move, really. She invites the king, and get this, Haman, to a private banquet, just the three of them. This makes Haman feel important, all while building suspense. Then she does it again. She invites them to a second banquet the next day. She's masterfully controlling the timing, just waiting for the absolute perfect moment to make her move.
And at that second banquet, boom, the trap is sprung. Esther finally reveals her secret. She tells the king, I am Jewish, and this wicked Haman has plotted to destroy me and my entire people. You can imagine the king. First, he is completely stunned, and then he is furious.
Meanwhile, just to show you the ultimate irony here, in his arrogance, Haman has been so confident of his success that he has already built a massive gallows. And who are they for? Specifically to hang his nemesis, Mordecai. He really believes his triumph is just hours away. Oh, he couldn't have been more wrong. The instruments of his planned victory are about to become the tools of his own downfall. And the reversal that follows is just absolute. Haman, who planned to execute Mordecai, is instead executed on the very gallows he built. Mordecai, who was marked for death, is elevated and honored by the king. And the Jewish people, who were supposed to be annihilated, are now given the king's blessing to defend themselves. What was meant to be a day of mass destruction is transformed into one singular day of great deliverance. It is a complete and total turning of the tables. So what can we take away from this incredible story? Well, a central theme is how a person's hidden, private identity can actually become the source of their greatest public strength. Esther's concealed heritage, which was once a vulnerability, became the very thing that sparked this massive victory. And the lessons here are just timeless. We see so clearly how Haman's pride led directly to his own destruction. We see how Esther's courage unlocked her true purpose. And, it reminds us that justice, even if it's delayed, can arrive in the most unexpected and dramatic ways. And the legacy of this event lives on today. The festival of Purim, named for the lots, the poor, that Haman cast, is celebrated every single year to remember this incredible story of survival and deliverance. And that really brings us to our final thought. Mordecai's question to Esther still resonates so strongly. Who knows whether you have come to the kingdom for such a time as this? It forces us to ask ourselves, what moment, what challenge, what purpose have we been uniquely placed for? It's something to think about. Thanks so much for joining us for this explainer.